This is a read aloud for 50 States Plus Informational Social Studies, taken from Government in Action. This read aloud compared to the last is only 6 paragraphs, but just because it's 6 paragraphs doesn't mean that there's a lot of information packed in. And the key part is it's informational social studies. Now, to help readers analyze any type of text, there's an acronym that we call TAPS, T-A-P-S. And depending on the type of reading, you can see that depending on the type of reading, you will guide yourself towards the actual structure or purpose of the reading. For instance, TAP stands for tone, theme, or title. So the title of this informational text is 50 States Plus. Who is this written for? A stands for audience. Anytime you read something, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's from your social studies book, science book, it's a fun book that you're reading to entertain yourself, or it's another type of text. Always keep in mind, what are those words being used for? Who is the audience? Next, purpose. This one, it's to inform. It's like your social studies book. Right here, the authors even give it to you. It's informational social studies. So other types of reading: to explain, those are science books. To entertain, those are your fun little stories that have a plot and there's a climax and then it ends with the character learning something. And then in the lower grades, 4, 5, 6, the other type of text is to persuade. When you hit the upper grades, 7, 8, and moving on to high school and college, they focus on the argument or to argue. Okay, so as soon as you know the purpose of the text, it will help guide you to what all of these words and how the author starts each paragraph. And it will move you along much faster for this one, which is to inform, to understand the main idea. And the last one, the S, stands for structure. For kids in the lower grades, you could just straight up have them count the sentences. And you can quickly see that this passage is much shorter than previous passages. And all you have to do is flip through the book. But most importantly, look at the lengths of each paragraph. Paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can see paragraph 1 is the shortest. In fact, they start paragraph 1 with a question and a quote. And you see this strategy used a lot by authors to promote you to think right away. That was about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I wanted to reference the TAPS. That was a quick introduction on TAPS. And we will use this a lot throughout the year for any type of text to help you better understand what the author is saying and doing. All right, let's go to read 50 States Plus. Paragraph 1. What state do you live in? Most residents of the United States have an easy time answering that question. After all, everyone lives in one of the 50 states, right? However, the United States includes a number of regions that aren't actual states. The people there are full citizens, but they have different relationships with the nation's government. That's paragraph 2. Remember, follow along with your pen or pencil. For example, the nation's capital, Washington, District of Columbia, in parentheses, D.C., is a federal district governed by Congress. The city has a mayor, but there is no state legislature or governor. Residents of Washington, D.C. have one elected representative in Congress, but no senators. Their representative can propose and debate bills, but cannot vote on any. Now, to gauge your speed before we go to paragraph 4, 5, and 6, any of these paragraphs, you should be able to point out keywords. And most importantly, if you had to pick 2 or 3 keywords in the entire paragraph that would summarize the paragraph, that will better help you understand the main idea of the paragraph, which will be further discussion down the road. Right now, remember, you should be able to summarize any paragraph, explain what it means, and then most importantly, make connections to it. That's called Say, Explain, Connect. Paragraph 4. Another home to U.S. citizens that is not a state in the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. For centuries, Puerto Rico, an island in the Caribbean Sea, was a Spanish territory before it became the property of the United States in 1898. Puerto Ricans elect their own governor, but they have no federal senators are representatives. Paragraph 5. In addition to Puerto Rico, 4 other locations classified as territories are home to U.S. citizens. They are Guam, American Samoa, the Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands. The federal government also oversees a number of uninhabited islands. Most of these are in the Pacific Ocean. So, next time you ask someone where he or she lives, be prepared for a quick lesson in U.S. geography. The answer may surprise you! Exclamation point. That's the end for the read aloud on the 50 States Plus. Remember to start writing this out. TAPS, T-A-P-S. What's the title of the article? The title, 50 States Plus. Who was this audience written for? Well, depending on the words that we're using, it was written for anybody wanting to understand the 50 states of America. Now, of course, we can be more specific, but that's another time, another place. The purpose of this information was to inform, just straight up give you information. And then the last one, if you want to look at the structure, just for now, we can count the sentences. So you can count up all the sentences. Another way of looking at structure is there are 6 paragraphs. Look how each paragraph was started. So next time, in addition, another home, for example, most residents, what state do you? Just read the first 3 words of each paragraph and it can give you a better flow of the structure of the information as well. That's it for the 50 States Plus. Notice how it was 6 minutes and 48 seconds? That's because this time we added a little more analysis to the actual read aloud. Enjoy.